Time to look ahead to match number 6 in the IPL, Hyderabad versus Bangalore in Chennai. This is ESPN Cricket 4020 Timeout, powered by Intel. I'm Ronak Kapoor, and joining me shortly, Dale Steyn and Irfan Pathan. Dale, our first point, Glenn Maxwell should be given a long rope at number 4 for Bangalore. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, you can have him at 4. I would even possibly squeeze him in at 3. I want to see AB bat up the order, so it's a toss-up between the two of them, whether they're going to be batting 3 or 4. I know when Glenn is playing back in the Big Bash back home, he's coming in at 3 or 4 anyway, so I would want to see him batting in the top 4, either way, whether it's him or AB. But I want the best batters to be facing the most balls. So I want to see Maxi up there.
He had a very good-looking 39 in that opening game against Mumbai, Irfan, and he came in ahead of AB de Villiers. Now, is that the way you would like to see Maxwell used?
I think Maxi, because of what has happened last few years in IPL, he needs a bit of time. And if he's batting at number 4, and the kind of batting he has, he can actually go against the planning of the opposition team, because he's not a guy who just come and defend the ball. He just he'll keep smacking. And when he's doing that, you want your main bowlers to come and bowl against Maxwell. And if you do that, suppose if Bumrah has bowled 2 overs up front, and then Maxwell comes in after 7 or 8 overs, you want him to bowl at least 1 over against Maxwell. So what you're trying to do as you finishing Bumrah's 3 overs before 10 over, and then you have only 1 over by Bumrah at the end. So I think it works really well for Maxwell batting number 4 for RCB, but I think they need to use Washington Sundar up the order as well, because if he's batting number 3 or somewhere, then the whole puzzle which was missing earlier for RCB's batting lineup, it will be fixed.
Yeah. All right, interesting. Now it's all about batting positions in these early parts of the tournament. So let's talk about Sunrisers Hyderabad. Irfan, our next preview point is that they must bat Abdul Samad higher, and I think you'll endorse that.
Absolutely, no doubt about that. I was very surprised when Jammu Kashmir, I was not there this year, but when Jammu Kashmir was not playing him up the order, I even tweeted about it as well. That the next match he batted number 3 and scored more than a 50. So I think Sunrisers Hyderabad needs to do the same. I find him, Abdul Samad, is like a younger Yusuf Pathan. When Yusuf Pathan came in IPL scene in international cricket, he was very fearless. He can go from the first ball, and Abdul Samad has the same ability. But it doesn't mean that if he has that ability, you use him for only 3 overs. You need to use him for at least 5 to 6 overs. He can win you games.
Yeah, he looked in good touch against Pat Cummins right at the end of that last game, Dale. And looking at the other personnel that they do have, they batted Vijay Shankar and Mohammad Nabi ahead of him. Would you cash in on Samad's glimpses of good hitting form that you saw? Would you bat him higher?
Yeah, from what he showed the other night, I'll be pushing him up especially ahead of Nabi. Although he's your international pro, he came out there and he just looked a different player. So he sent a message out to Trevor Bayliss and the coaching staff and said, I'm here to bat, I'm here to play. And I'm sure they've taken notice of that. I also didn't realize that he's only 19. You know, he's 19. He's a young guy, 19 runs, 8 balls. That was pretty fireful. So yeah, I would get him up there a little bit earlier.
All right. Now, what about that position for Mohammad Nabi itself, Dale? Would Hyderabad be wise to look at someone else, Jason Holder, if he's available for selection, or maybe even play Kane Williamson and just shuffle around with an Indian bowler? Your thoughts, whether they should stick with Nabi?
Yeah, I like that Nabi and Rashid Khan kind of bowl together. They both come from the same country. They've got good synergy between the two of each other. But Hyderabad might need, they might need Williamson in there, I think. He just kind of calms things down. He can bat through the 20 overs. He can get you runs along with Bairstow and Warner. You might need him in there. Then you got to have Holder too. So they've got the option of Holder on a wicket like that where it was sticking the other night. Change of pace, and Holder can bat. Let's not forget this guy's got a double test 100. Like, he's a proper batsman. So it depends on whether Hyderabad want to go with somebody who they could possibly use in the first 6 as a spin option, change of pace, that kind of thing, or if they want to go with Jason Holder as the seamer, tall, change of pace kind of. It's up to them, but they've got options.
Irfan, which way would you go? Give Nabi one more game? He did bowl well in the last game, or would you be tempted to get either Jason Holder or Kane Williamson in?
Especially if they're playing in Chennai, I would definitely give him one more game, because he can bat, he can bowl. Look, I would love to have Kane Williamson in my side any day of the week. I don't want him to sit out, but because I think the team management think that he's not ready yet. They want to give him more time in the practice. So till then, I think they should stick with the same team. They maybe, if they want to change, they could change from Vijay Shankar to Kedar Jadhav. But apart from that, one game is too less for anyone to perform.
Okay, now next point, we're discussing Yuzvendra Chahal. It's been more than just the odd bad game for India's premier white ball wrist spinner Irfan. As we look at his recent series numbers against England recently, before that against New Zealand too, Chahal's not had that sort of impact. He went wicketless in the first game against Mumbai as well. Bangalore need Chahal to step up. What's happened to Chahal's form?
Look, I think it's just a matter of time, and I think he's an experienced campaigner. He's been the best bowler for RCB. There is no doubt about that. He's been playing in Chinnaswamy Stadium for many years, taking wickets for them. So it's just a little phase, and I think when you're playing for India as well, I think Chahal needs a good partner on the other hand. When they had Kulcha playing together, he was devastating, and there were many teams were not able to push, especially on those middle overs. So I think he might need have a support when he plays for India, but I think for RCB, it's just a matter of time before he starts picking up, and hopefully this Chennai pitch will suit him really well.
Yeah, maybe he's missing the Chinnaswamy, which no bowler would say, Dale. But you played a lot with Yuzvendra Chahal. What's happening? Why is Chahal now going wicketless suddenly?
He's missed a couple games, I guess, now for India recently, from what I remember. So he might be a little bit ring rusty. I actually got him down as the highest wicket taker for this year's IPL, strangely enough. So I'm backing him to take a lot of wickets in the remaining matches. So I still back him. I think he'll be good. Playing in Chennai, once that wicket starts to become more scuffed, his economy rate will come down, which I know a lot of spinners are always conscious of. And then he'll start to pick up wickets.
And,
all right.
Look, sometimes it's all about the good memories as well. Last year, when Sunrisers Hyderabad were playing against RCB, the match was going in favor of Sunrisers Hyderabad, where he was playing really well. Chahal came, took his wickets, took set batsman's wicket, and then the game was turned. So I think those memories might help him get back to his premier form.
Yeah, fair point. Now, what about the other spinner that Bangalore have? Washington Sundar. Irfan's already made the point that Washi should bat in the power play, but would we like to see more of Washi with the ball in the power play, which we didn't see last game? Irfan, David Warner in the opposition. Would you give Washington Sundar the new ball?
No doubt. I'll be very surprised if that doesn't happen, because even last time when RCB was playing, I tweeted as well when Washington Sundar came, I think later stage of the game, I think it was 9th or 10th over, and he came, he took a wicket, and I tweeted saying, "Der hai durust hai." But look, he should be bowling in the power play. He's a fantastic bowler. He's got a great control. And especially against the left-hander, David Warner, it will be a go-to man as well. And he might even get him out. But he needs to bowl in the power play.
All right. He just got the 1 over in that last game. Dale got a wicket and then Kohli didn't go back to him. Would you use Washi the bowler more, especially with David Warner in the opposition?
You'll see Washi used more, definitely, going forward. Last year, again, he was just... I thought Washi was going to be opening the batting at one stage for us last year and ended up getting used more as a bowler. But I think Virat will use him more as a bowler in those first 6 overs. He's so good. His accuracy is crazy, and he bowls such a good pace that if it does get a little bit of spin, he can beat the outside edge of Warner. But he's difficult to get down the wicket to and hit back over his head. He's got good control. You'll see Virat using him more in the first 6 overs now.
All right, Dale Steyn, Irfan Pathan, thank you very much. That rounds off our preview to this game between Hyderabad and Bangalore on ESPN Cricinfo T20 Timeout, powered by Intel.